You want to role play it?
Yeah, sure. Like,
All right. All right, you ready?
yeah.
All right, whenever you're ready.
Hey, is this Aaron?
Yeah, who is this?
Hey, this is just Kyle. I'm with Andrew Pipkin's team over at Pipkin Resells. Is it kind shoot. This is just Kyle. I'm with Andrew Pipkin's team over at Pipkin Resells. I was just wondering if you could just help me out here for a quick second.
Yeah. What's going on?
Well, I just saw that you joined our school community here a couple of days ago. I'm not sure if you can though. I was wondering if you could give me some feedback on our school community and what we can do better, what we're doing wrong, what we're doing ugly. Is it cool to ask you a couple quick questions?
Yeah. I don't really remember the school community, to be honest with you.
Gotcha. Do you remember joining it a couple of days ago? I think it was on Friday. You might have seen it from one of our Instagram ads. Does that ring any bells?
Possibly. Yeah, I mean,
Gotcha.
you'd have
Okay.
to send me something like that.
Yeah, it was about getting started with Amazon FBA. Are you looking to get started with that or not really?
Oh, yeah. I remember something like that.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So yeah, that's why I'm calling here, man. I saw that you joined our school community. No worries if you don't really remember it or haven't taken a chance to look at it. But I'm curious, like, what got you interested in wanting to join school community and learn more about Amazon FBA?
Well, I mean, Amazon FBA, like, I want to be able to like start making money, to be honest with you. Yeah, just want to make more money.
Okay. Why is that, man?
I mean, who doesn't want to make more money, right?
Right, right. And yeah, I mean, it's who doesn't, right? I mean, just like specifically for you though. Why is that important for you to make more money?
Well, I eventually be able to like leave my job and stuff and do things I want
Mhm.
to do.
Okay. Gotcha. Well, is it cool here if I ask you another couple more quick questions, see how we can actually help out? And if I feel like we can generally help you out here and there's alignment here, I can get you on a more longer, in-depth call with my head coach to come up with a plan of action for you to see how we can actually help out. And if I don't feel like we can actually help you, I'm a pretty blunt and honest guy, and I'll point you in the best direction. Does that sound fair?
Yeah,
Cool. So we're wanting to make money with FBA so that we can leave our job, correct? Or correct me if
yeah,
I'm wrong.
yeah.
Okay. And I guess like what's going on there with your job?
Well, yeah, I mean, like it's 9 to 5. I don't really want to work 9 to 5 like anyone else. So if I can just make money to replace it, work on my own, that'd be solid.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, a lot of people do work, 9 to 5 jobs. They just end up working 9 jobs for the rest of their lives. So I guess like why isn't that a choice for you?
Well, because like I work construction, man. So like
Mhm.
construction's like hard on the body, and I don't really see this
Yeah,
being like a long-term play,
gotcha.
you know.
How has it been hard on your body? Like, what do you mean by specifically?
Like just carrying a lot of like heavy bricks and shit. So, you know, it's like a workout like 20 like 15 hours a day.
Really working out for 15 hours a day? Shoot, man. That definitely sounds frustrating.
Yeah. Have you ever
Yeah.
done that?
Um, carry bricks for 15 hours a day? No, I have not. I'm not. I don't think I'm planning on. But so you mentioned something earlier. Why do you feel like you don't see yourself doing this long term?
Well, because like it's hard on the body and
Mhm.
like I could eventually get hurt. Like I've seen people go out of work and go into disability in the long run with construction. So, and then they have no other way of making income besides Social Security, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Gotcha. That definitely sounds ideal, man. I guess for you, like how long has actually been wanting to make money online, something outside of construction, really been a goal for you?
I mean, I'd say like the past 3 months.
3 months.
Hmm.
What changed like 3 months ago?
I mean, that's when it's like really when I started to focus on like the long term vision, because like, I have a wife and we eventually want to have kids.
Mm,
So like, if for whatever reason I get hurt, like we're not gonna have any income coming in.
really?
Yeah.
With the construction, is it like pretty easy to get yourself hurt and like get yourself out of work?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it's not definitely ideal. Does your wife work, or is it just you for right now?
Nah, she's at home. Yeah. Just
Oh,
me.
okay. So like you're like the only one providing for the family to make like money's made bread on the table.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So I guess like within the past 3 months, like what have we tried to do to make it sure like we have another income source for yourself so that you're ultimately not relying on your 9 to 5 job to bring in like food on the table? Like what have you tried there?
Mm, I mean, honestly, I've been looking into things, but I haven't actually tried anything yet.
Okay. Just looking into things but not actually trying. Okay. And I guess like why is that, man? Like why haven't we actually put anything into practice and tried anything?
I just don't know where to start.
Hmm. Don't know where to start, as in like which business model or like how to start with FBA.
Like in general, like I don't know how to make money online. Like, and
Hmm.
I'm hearing like there's a lot of scams and stuff online. So
Scams? What did you mean by that?
yeah, like people who just want to take your money,
Mhm.
not really fulfill.
Okay. And like where did you hear that? Was it like did you experience that or like you just heard it online?
I mean, I didn't experience it. I just heard it online and I also have a friend who got scammed. So
Oh, okay. And was it like something with FBA or was it like something completely
No,
different?
it's something different. Like some, I don't know exactly what he's doing, but
Mm,
he just told me to be careful.
gotcha. Yeah, you definitely do want to be careful. I'm in this space, and there are definitely people out there that aren't really the best and most trustworthy. So I can definitely see where you're coming from there. I mean, can I share a thought on that for you for a second?
Yeah,
Can you see how that way of like thinking that there are scams out there and that people are just going to take your money has been ultimately like holding you back from actually taking action for yourself so that ultimately you can make money online? I'm not trying to judge you here or anything, but just like man-to-man conversation. Can you see how that way of thinking has ultimately been like holding you back?
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, but at the same time, it's also, you know, been like helping me from not getting scammed, right?
Sure. Well, how are you ever going to know, if you don't actually try it? You know what I mean? Of course, like we want to be cautious, like we haven't really done anything like this before, but how are we ever going to know if we haven't actually tried? You know,
That's true.
right? So, going forward, are you like the type of person to like push forward, even though it's kind of not necessarily risky, but like in the unknown? Are you that type of person to push forward, even though you're not too familiar on it, and actually take a risk for yourself, so ultimately you can have that future for yourself? Or
I mean, yeah,
okay, are you sure?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, and with like making money online and actually having this future for yourself, where like you're not just working your 9 to 5 job, is this something like you want to do now, or something that you want to do like later in the future?
Like doing this to leave my 9 to 5.
Yeah, with FBA,
Yeah, I
or
mean,
just
as soon as
making.
possible.
Okay,
Yeah.
why as soon as possible for you, man?
Well, I mean, because like I said, like I don't want to, like I need to make money like with this as soon as possible because we want to have kids and stuff. So like, yeah, if something were to happen with the job, I'd kind of be
Mm,
fucked.
yeah, yeah, I can definitely see that, man. It's definitely not ideal. Especially if like you're the only one bringing food to the table, that can definitely be quite risky. You mentioned earlier like not knowing what to do, not knowing like don't know where to start with online money. I guess like what's the hardest part with actually getting the information and knowing where to start?
Well, I don't have like any any guidance, like I don't really know like how to start Amazon FBA. There's so many moving parts.
Mhm. Right. There definitely is. And what we see and what I've seen, whenever people start and they don't actually have the right proper guidance, is what tends to happen is things fall apart. Because like you mentioned, there are lots of moving parts. And if you don't actually have the right guidance and support from the start, you're just gonna get lost. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for you with getting guidance, I guess what kind of guidance would you be looking for specifically to help you start?
I deal with like one-on-one coaching,
Hmm.
and then like 24/7 support, and then like a roadmap on how I
Hmm.
can go from like, A to Z.
Hmm. Gotcha. And I guess like with the one-on-one coaching, why do you feel like that's gonna really help you?
Well, because like I played sports, so like, having that coach with you to show you the steps will help
Hmm.
you, or at least help me and get me to where I need to go.
Hmm.
So
Gotcha. Um, I can definitely see what you mean by that. And ideally with FBA, of course, like to ultimately have this time freedom, we need to be making the money so that ultimately we can have this like freedom for ourselves. We're not tied down to our 9 to 5. Um, so for you, how much would you have to be making online so that ultimately you can leave your 9 to 5 job and have more, not more, but at the same time have another income source for yourself?
ideally like 10K a month is solid, like 8 to 10K.
8 to 10K,
Yeah.
gotcha. That's definitely doable. Give yourself like 3 to 6 months, and that's definitely doable. That 8 to 10K, I guess how does that compare to like what you're making right now?
Yeah, I mean I'm at like 6 to 7 right now.
6 to 7. Okay, so we're looking at a 3 to 4K difference there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. And I think it's pretty obvious like that 10K. But just so I can understand a little bit more, what would that 10K allow you to do that you can't do right now?
I mean, I'd be able to take my wife on more trips and then get a new house, a bigger house since we want to have kids, and then, new car,
Mhm.
whole lifestyle change.
Sounds awesome, man. Sounds like a lot of things would change. Are you
Yeah.
not really able to do that right now with like giving your wife a lot of travel freedom, something like that,
I
stuff like that?
mean, yeah, but like not as much,
Not as
because I'm,
much.
yeah, I'm just
Hmm.
working here.
Gotcha. I mean, how does that feel? I guess like going above and beyond for your wife like we want to.
How does that feel? I mean, like, I don't know. Like, it doesn't, I just can't do it for her.
And also, like, how important is this for you to actually make this happen for yourself?
I mean, it's super important, man. I mean, that's why, like,
Mhm.
I was looking into something like this.
Okay. Awesome. And in order for you to actually reach that goal where you are making the money that you want, aside from construction, like, now having another income source for yourself where you can actually have more freedom for yourself and for your family, what would you have in terms of available funds to use to actually make this a reality with Amazon FBA?
Oh shit, this fucking brokey Zoom. Let me pay for this shit. In funds, I have like, well, how much do I need?
Well, it's not going to be anything like 10K. There is like a low 4-figure investment to actually get started with FBA. Do you feel like you could allocate some funds to actually make this reality for yourself, where you can have that future for yourself you've been wanting, or how's it looking
Yeah.
like there?
Yeah, I mean, you said four figures. Like, what would it be?
Anywhere from like low four figures.
Yeah, but like how much though? Like,
Well, with Amazon FBA, ideally, to get started, anywhere from 3 to 5K would be ideal when it comes to inventory. Is
yeah,
that
I
something?
could do that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, then, from based off our conversation, Aaron, I definitely feel like we can help you, and I feel like there is alignment in terms of like what you're looking for and what we can provide. I think the next steps then is to actually get you on a longer, more in-depth call with my head coach, where in that call we'll really break down the strategy we can actually help use for you with you, to actually make sure this comes to reality with Amazon FBA, so that you can actually have the screen for yourself, not only for yourself but for your wife. Would that be helpful if I just now book this time for us in the next 1 to 2 days?
Yeah. What time though?
Gotcha. It's all dependent on you, man. We're all pretty flexible. Ultimately, it's on what really fits in with your schedule. I appear Sunday and Monday. Would Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern work for you?
Yeah, that works. That's solid.
Okay, gotcha. And is that a time like you can like 100%, 10% make sure you can make it, like, and be like at a desk in a quiet area?
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, I'll get that booked in for you. Gotcha, man.
And then
And
yeah.
your call is going to be with David. He's been with us for the past 6 months. He's a killer. He loves helping people, and that's what he does. Okay, and with that call, he's going to really make sure that you get the help you need and see how he can actually help you out. Okay,
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And here's our pre-call videos, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So
How did that feel for you? All right, I just paid that shit.
that's definitely a bit rocky, but decent.
Like,
Um,
yeah, go ahead.
look, some things were dragged on too much, in terms of like details or getting to things a little bit quicker, or it could have made a bigger problem out of something, gone deeper with the pain. Um, those are my thoughts. Yeah, how do you think I did?
Yeah, I thought it was good overall, bro. I just think it was long. Like,
Yeah.
it was like, because how long were we on that call for? Like 20 minutes or something? It felt
Hmm.
like long, like for a setting call. Because usually how I do my calls is anywhere between like 8 to 15 minutes. Because I don't think like you need to get like super, super deep. I would say you do a good job of probing for sure, 100%. The first thing I'd say is like when you're going in a frame, because you go frame twice, right? You do the beginning of like, hey, like, I'll answer some questions. And then the second time, like, if I think we can help, yada, yada. So
Hmm.
I would try to get more clear on the goal first before you go back into the second frame. So yeah, obviously make more money, but like, what has you looking make more money? Okay, the job. Okay. And then I had said other things too. What do you mean by other things? Because I said, yeah, I want to leave the job and then other things. I said that on purpose. Like, yeah, what did you mean by other things? Oh, other things like, buying the house, the car. Okay, cool. And then I think if you go into frame and then frame it that way, like around the goal, which you kind of did, that would be solid. What else? Oh, another thing. This is kind of small, but it's like I had said, yeah. I what has been stopping me from getting started is like I don't know what to. What did I say?
Where to
I,
start, how to do it.
I don't know where to start, how to do it, and also like which thing to start, pretty much. And then I would have asked like, yeah, like what have you looked into? Eliminate the other business models, like why FBA specifically.
Hmm.
Have them sell
Get
themselves on it.
get buy-in on it on FBA.
Yeah, 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 on FBA specifically, and then that was a good reframe, bro. On like, can I share perspective? Like, can you see that way of thinking? That was really good. I just would
Do you
have asked,
think that's good? Like on an actual setting call to do that? Do you think that's
yeah,
actually okay?
bro, because that's gonna eliminate the like if you don't eliminate the limiting beliefs on the setting call, there's just gonna be so much more resistance for the closer. Like you want to make it
Mhm.
as laid down as possible without emotionally exhausting them, right? I just would have asked again, like another question, like, well, how do you think you can trust, like, or what are some things that you look for in a company to like you can trust them to actually move forward with them? Because I know you said your friend got scammed. Like, how can you prevent that? And then I would say like we went into like goals first, and then like I think situation, problem, and then goals again.
Yeah.
So I think maybe if you just like stay in the goals and then like go all the way in and then go to situation and then problem, because it kind of felt like all over the place, but it was still good. And then oh yeah, that one question, bro, you guys said like how does it feel to where like you can't provide? Like I didn't like that question, bro,
Yeah.
because like it made me. I don't like when people say how does it feel because it's like bro, I know what you're doing. Like
Yeah. I mean,
because I would say like another way to put that is like, well, I mean, the fact that Shania would take her wife on vacations, like get into his wife's head. Like, how does your wife feel about that? Or what did she say to you about that? Not going on more vacations? You know, how does she? This is kind of deep. Like, how does she view you on that as a man?
actually, if you, ooh,
Yeah, like she like that's more like identity questions.
yeah.
But yeah, especially like if they aren't able to do things for another person like their kids, Like I had a prospect, for example, on the when I was closing on the closing call, and she was saying she was a nurse, she was working 8 hours a week, she couldn't really spend time with her kids. I was like, damn, man. I
You,
mean, like,
do you put this on your YouTube videos? I think I watched it. Yeah.
oh yeah, I talked about it, but I didn't actually
Yeah.
upload it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was like, yeah, how do your kids feel about that? Them not seeing you? And she broke down, bro. So like, just whenever they're talking about someone external other than themselves, then I think that's a better question to ask. Like, how do they feel about the situation? Or how do they view the situation? Right. But if you're talking about them, I would say, what's that doing to you? Or how does that affect you? Right. Other than saying, how does that feel? Because that question is like super played out. And
Guilty.
then, yeah. And then the last thing, bro, is to help you out. This is what I kind of just learned a couple weeks ago is like, ask the financial qualifier in the middle of discovery or right after you ask their goals. Because number one, it's going to seem super genuine. It's like, really? I mean, so it sounds like, you really want to get out of this job, to prevent you from, hurting yourself and also helping your family out. Like, what do you say? How much do you have set aside to be able to make that change for yourself? Right. Oh, I have to be able to make 10K a month. Oh, I have 3K or 5K, whatever it is. Okay. And that way it's natural. And then you can go back into discovery and you know that they're qualified. Whereas if you wait till the end, two things are going to happen. One, you just spend all the time on the call. And if they're broke, you kind of just wasted 15 minutes. And another thing too is like if you do book them, it can kind of seem like, okay, like, yeah, he just once he found out I had the money, he's going to book me on a call. And I didn't think of it like that until my sales manager told me a couple weeks ago. But I think that's one thing that could help. Other than that, though, super solid disco. Not much to change. I would just say the things I said. But other than that, you're chilling.
Appreciate it. I think that like my disco, same thing with like my closing calls. I think I just need to be more efficient and not be jumping all over the place. Like I look at my closing calls, exact same thing. Like a little bit jumpy. Like they're good, but they're like they're longer. They can be shorter and it's more straight to the point. When it comes to actual pain and goals. Um,
Mhm.
I was a bit I'm not nervous, but like I don't know, shit wasn't clicking. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, you're following a framework, right?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
can I see it?
Yeah.
Because like, because I'm thinking is like if your framework, like if you're following a framework, why are you jumping around then?
I think the jumping around is me just literally just forgetting to ask like the like whenever I ask like the how much do you want to make, I literally just forgot about it. It's
Uh,
so retarded to say. Like I remember going into pain, I'm like, oh shit, I haven't even asked like how much he wants to make.
mm,
Um,
I
but
think you're
yeah,
in your head, bro.
I think I am.
Yeah. Like, have you tried to like run a call without the script? Just go completely scriptless?
On my closing calls, I don't have a script.
Oh shit.
Um, that helps me a lot. But for some like whenever I have a triage call, a setting call, I have the script in front of me, but I don't necessarily look at it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just have it as like a little framework. But even right here, like I wasn't even looking at my script. I was like looking like over here for most of the time. Like you saw that, right?
Yeah.
Um, so I think it's just me following the flow of the conversation. I
Yeah.
think that's why I was so jumpy.
I mean, I like that because I go scriptless too, right?
Mhm.
But at the same time, though, like when you do go that route, like I know how it is. Like there's multiple routes you could take it. Like if someone says one thing, you can either go the pain route, the goal route, or the situation route, or whatever it is, right? But
Yeah.
if you're like trying to be in goals, like if they give you a goal and then they talk about like something else, I would stick on that goal part first.
Mhm.
Make sure you get everything you need, and then say, wait, hang on, you
Yeah.
had said something earlier about you not feeling well about XYZ. Like, what did you mean by that? Instead of like jumping, like you're catching the bait, immediately.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I want to like jump on things right away. Before like they finish their sentence because like I read one of my calls, closing calls with my buddy who's like making 10K. He's like, I need to jump on things earlier because whenever you jump on things at the end of the sentence, they're like, oh yeah, I mean, they don't necessarily tend to like, remember what they really said. They're just saying it.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't think of what you mean there. And I think that's definitely why it was kind of like jumpy.
Yeah, and like honestly too, there's a thing. Like if they give you in the beginning of the call, if they give you two things, pain or goal oriented, okay, yeah, like whichever one sounds more pressing, then go with that and then go that route. But like if you're gonna go the pain route, like go the pain route and finish that through, and then go the other route, because otherwise, like again, you'll be jumping and like super spotty. But hmm,
I feel like it was solid too. Definitely, I want to ask you two things. Do you feel there's enough like actual pain in you to actually like get you on that Senate call? Because I feel like, oh, construction hurts my back. I've been whining for 3 months. I feel like I could have gotten more pain out there. How do you feel? Or
really, um, I
at
mean,
least like my closing brain.
I mean, yeah, but it's setting though. Like if you get super deep on a setting call, like and the closer tries to do the same thing, they're gonna like, dude, I just told you like how I felt. Like I just told the other guy how I felt about this. Like they're gonna be exhausted from that, if you go
Mm.
super fucking deep. So I think you did good. I think it was solid, bro. I don't think you could have like, I mean, you obviously could have gone deeper, but I think that was enough for the closer. Maybe one thing you could have done is like, okay, like instead of asking like when did you realize this or like why are we talking today instead of 3 months ago, I just would have said how long have you been feeling this way for? That'll magnify
Of
the pain. Like of like you um not making the money you want to make to take your girl on vacation or thinking about like if I get hurt, then my wife's not gonna be taken care of. So it's different from saying how long have you been thinking this way or when did you realize this? Whereas you're saying how long have you been feeling this way for?
actual pain point.
Yeah. Because they're like when you say feel or think, feel, they're actually gonna feel it emotionally, right? Whereas if you say think, they're gonna think about it logically. So that's the only other thing. Other than that, I thought you went deep enough.
Gotcha. Appreciate it. I think, yeah, it's just two things in my head. I was in my head a little bit and just hard on myself. I think like I can do. I think one of the part I could have done better, maybe it's like the reframing part. I think the actual reframe was good, but actually the question after that could have been better. Guys, like I asked him like whack ass question, like are you the type of person to actually like push forward even though like something like
Oh,
unknown?
the identity question, yeah.
Yeah, I think I like what like this. I use this on my closing calls. Ask them, let me know how you feel. Like asking this on a setting call. Um, so like, can you see how that way of thinking has prevented you? Yes. Okay. Also, like, how much do you feel that's like costing you like right now?
Oh, that's good. Opportunity cost. Yeah, that's a good question. I would avoid that identity question because it's kind of like it's not confusing, but it's like it's not necessary to say. And
Yeah,
another
no,
thing
I get what
too
I mean.
that I just remembered is like how important is this to you? Like I will kind of erase that too because I used to ask that. Like how else am I supposed to answer that? Like yeah, it's super important. Like they'll tell you it's important through the way they answer your other questions.
Yeah, it was just unnecessary. It's just like kind of repeating, sending the same question like in a different format. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good
Yeah.
role play. Good prospecting. I feel like I did solid, just
Yeah.
the little details.
Little
Uh,
details.